Today, you're going to hear from a number of Microsoft experts across the board on what we are doing to secure agentic AI with agentic AI. You're going to hear from the front lines of threat landscape. You're going to hear what our innovations are doing. You're going to hear from our customers who have been innovating with us on those very front lines, and how together we all need to play the securities game as a team, because after all, security is a team sport. So with that, please join me in welcoming Sherrod, who is going to take you to those very front lines of the threat landscape.
Thanks, Vasu. Welcome, everyone. For the last year, we've talked about AI making the threat landscape faster, and that's true. But speed actually isn't the most important thing that we're seeing. What we're observing across the threat landscape is that AI is actually being embedded into how attacks are planned, refined, and scaled. Most of what we see today isn't actually fully autonomous AI running its own campaigns. It's something a lot more practical and scalable. AI is reducing friction across the entire attack lifecycle. It's helping threat actors research faster, write better lures, debug malware, and even triage through stolen data. We know that when you reduce friction in any system, you increase output. And in the threat landscape, that means more attempts, more adaptation, and more persistence. When we zoom out, the scale is undeniable. Threat activity spans every region. The United States alone represents nearly 25% of observed activity, followed by the UK, Israel, and Germany. That reflects not just the geopolitical realities that we're dealing with, but the bigger shift around operational AI usage. Threat actors are embedding AI into how they work across reconnaissance, malware development, and in their post-compromise operations. So while the objectives are familiar to you, credential theft, financial gain, espionage, the persistence is different, and we're seeing the persistence changing. Email is still the fastest and cheapest path to initial access. That has not changed. What has changed is the level of refinement that we're seeing. When AI is embedded into phishing operations, we are seeing click-through rates at 54% when compared to about 12% for more traditional campaigns. That's a 450% increase. It's not just volume, it's improved precision and more efficacy that the threat actors are able to claim. AI is helping threat actors localize their content, and it allows them to adapt the messaging of their lures to the specific roles that they're targeting. It's helping reduce friction in crafting the lures, and it also increases the likelihood that one single message will convert into the access that they want. So when you combine that improved effectiveness with infrastructure designed to bypass MFA, you get a more resilient phishing operation. So if AI can increase click-through rates by 450%, it changes not just the level of impact, but also the level of risk that we have to evaluate. That shift towards refinement and resilience is what we're seeing in all of the phishing as a service ecosystems, like Tycoon 2FA. So Tycoon 2FA shows us that phishing is no longer just a tool. It's operated by an actor that we track as Storm 1747. It wasn't just a phishing kit. It was a full subscription service. Tens of millions of phishing emails sent per month, and nearly 100,000 organizations impacted in 2023 alone. At its peak, it accounted for roughly 62% of all of the phishing attempts that we were blocking. This operation specialized in adversary in the middle. It is specifically built to defeat MFA. It can intercept credentials and logged session tokens in real time. It allowed attackers to log in as legitimate users without triggering alerts, even after passwords were reset. But the bigger shift that we're seeing isn't just technical, it's structure. Storm 1747 wasn't operating alone. This was modular. We always talk about cybercrime as not being a set of actors, but an entire interconnected ecosystem. In this case, one service handled the phishing templates, another provided infrastructure, yet another handled email distribution, and my personal favorite was responsible for all the money. So you have to think of it like an identity theft assembly line. If threat actors are collaborating, they're creating marketplaces, they're creating ecosystems, they are scaling. Defenders have to operate that way too. So that's why our digital crimes unit disrupted them earlier this month. When we disrupted Tycoon 2FA, we seized over 330 domains in coordination with Europol and other of our industry partners. We weren't just taking down websites. This applies pressure to a criminal supply chain. Cybercrime isn't just about sophisticated threat actors. It really is about creating these service models that lower the barrier to entry so that anybody can get into the game. Identity is obviously a primary target, and MFA bypass is packaged as part of the features. When we disrupt one service, that forces the entire marketplace to adapt. And that sustained pressure enabled us to fragment the cybercriminal ecosystem. It gives Microsoft the ability to reshape the risk environment, not by reacting to individual attacks, but by targeting economies that support them. Every time we do that, we generate signal. That signal feeds our threat intelligence. The intelligence strengthens the detection, and the detection is what drives our responses. That's how we turn what a threat actor does into durable defenses across all of Microsoft. When we look back at the bigger picture, AI isn't showing up just in one phase of an attack. It's appearing across the entire life cycle of the attack chain. For reconnaissance, it accelerates infrastructure discovery and persona development. For resource development, it's able to generate forged documents and very polished narratives. For initial access, it's about refining voice overlays, deep fakes, and customization using scraped data. In persistence and evasion, we're seeing scaling of fake identities and automation of communication. In weaponization, it's your classic vibe-coded malware, regenerated payloads, and debugging that malware in real time. And in post-compromise, threat actors are adapting their tooling specific to their victim's environment, and they are automating the ransom negotiations. So their objectives haven't changed. The tempo has changed. The iteration of speed has changed. The ability to make testing and refinement at scale has changed. So when we say AI isn't just accelerating attacks, it's really upgrading them. If we see AI embedded across the attack lifecycle, threat intelligence and defense have to be embedded across the attack lifecycle too. The advantage in this new AI era won't belong to whoever reacts the fastest to the last attack. It's going to belong to whoever learns fastest from the next one that we see. And now, for a fireside chat about the state of the industry, I would like to bring up Vasu Jakal and Ann Johnson.